welcome to Failcom Limited, registered trademark. My name is Lucien.
And my name is Ray, and welcome to the next tank rating, this time with the M24 Chaffee from the USA tank tree. And I would say, yeah, let's start. Go.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with mobility first, and let's talk about the acceleration first. Acceleration with this tank is good. It's a little bit above average, but nothing too stunning. The top speed, however, tops off at, let me check, I guess it was somewhat about 50 kilometers per hour. It's noted with 63 kilometers per hour on street, and so you can guess somewhat topping off at 50 kilometers per hour in field. Also, the reverse speed of this tank is very excellent. Acceleration reverse is quite well, and also the top speed. So you can get back into cover with this thing quite quickly, which is always a good thing to have. The next thing I want to talk about is the turn ratio of the tank. It is pretty good. It is also nothing too stunning because it turns only on one track, but if you accelerate a bit, it turns quite well. Also, when you are turning at high speeds, the tank does not bank too badly. It does bank a little, but it's still very stable, so turning on high speed shouldn't be that much of a problem. And let's talk about braking. If you brake, the nose pitches down, so if you're in motion at very high speeds and you hit a brake abruptly, then you might not be able to stay focused on your target. So brake with a little bit of caution, but the brakes generally work quite well, so the tank stops quite quickly. That's almost all I have to say. The suspension system is also quite good, but it's a little bit too free. It's not stiff enough, so the tank does bank a little and pitch a little, which other suspensions don't do as much. Compared with the Panther, for an example, and you know what a good suspension is, but for a light tank of this tier it's quite okay. So we are giving it a mobility rating of 8 because it's generally one of the fastest tanks that you will find in the US tree or generally on this tier. So nothing bad about the M24 Chaffee here.
Okay. So, let's go to survivability. This is rated with a 5, and here's the reason why. First of all, we have a 4-man crew, which is not that bad, but the problem is 3 of them are not sitting but standing in the turret, so a hit in the turret is quite harmful. The armor itself is also not quite impressive and reliable. For some numbers, we have 25.4mm on front, and on the front turret we have 38.1mm. And yeah, it's a little bit slow, but it doesn't make any great difference. If you get hit by something, most of the time it goes through. So overall, you have to use your mobility to get to survive the battle, to say so. Yeah, as Lucien said, you can get out of cover and can get into cover very fast with the reverse speed and acceleration, so you have to most of the time use your mobility. As well, you have an 12.7mm Browning M2 HB machine gun on the turret, as you see here, and you can fire it also. You can use it as anti-air gun, which is, it's not, you don't shoot the planes down instantly, but it's a nice to have. It's always nice to have an anti-air gun on your tank. And you also can shoot with it on a little bit weaker tanks, to say. So as I demonstrate you here, you can probably penetrate, or you can also kill this tank here with the 12mm gun. So yeah, it's not that bad. But overall, don't get hit with anything and you will be fine with the Chaffee. Okay, let's go to the firepower.
Alright, firepower. Well, no big surprises here. The gun is an adapted version of the M4 Sherman's M3 main gun. It's a 7.5 centimeter gun, M6, and yeah, you have the same shells as for the Shermans, so nothing that will surprise you. You have one APHE shell, which does quite a lot of damage. supports caliber, so the damage that you can put out with the tank is great, but yeah, the penetration is not, and that's the main problem with this gun. The reload time is also a little bit below its counterparts. It loads a little faster than Panzer 4 or a T-34, but don't rely on fast reload because, you know, one of your crew members might be out, it might be a loader which got replaced by the commander, and your reload bonus is done, is dealt with. And also, like I said, the penetration isn't great. You can get a little better penetration with the AP shell, but yeah, it's worse damage-wise, so the gun is not that impressive, but it's not that bad. And if you can flank your enemies, which should be possible with this tank if your team enables you to, then you can hit some of those enemy bastards pretty badly in the side or at their rear. That's what you should go for, and then you will have a good time with the M24. If you go face to face with the KV-1, maybe not so much. This being said, let's go to our final verdict for the Chaffee, because it scores 6 points in firepower.
Okay, and for the personal rating, it's a solid 7, not 6, 7. Yeah, overall it's quite a good tank, if you know how to play him and if your team gives you chances to play him right, to say so. If your team is totally, yeah, it's totally dogshit and you don't have the chance to flank your enemies or get them from behind or do something like that, yeah, probably you can't use the mobility proper to play this tank well. But yeah, you definitely need its mobility to unfold its full potential.
I personally liked how you referred to this tank as he.
Oh, sorry.
Just a little sidekick information here. All the US American tanks are named after US generals, so this tank is named after General Chaffee, or I don't know his correct rank. I don't have the data open here, so actually it's not too wrong to say he to this tank, because it's named after a real person.
I knew that, and it was fully on purpose.
Yeah, it was on intent, I know.
Okay.
So, let's sum up the points of this tank, maybe?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, then I do it. With all the points given, we have a total of 26 points for this tank, which makes it, yeah, not really one of the best tanks. But I have to say it's an enjoyable tank. It's something fresh, it's something different, and maybe that saves it a little bit, because if you objectively rate this tank, it's not that good with 26 points. It's at the lower end of the, let's say, ranking ladder, except for the Archer probably, but subjectively it was fun to play it, really. So enjoy it for a few rounds, but maybe go for the M10, it's a better tank.
Yes. Okay, then we see or hear us in the next tank ranking, which will be the Panzer 4F2.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, spoiler alert.
Oh, now you spoiled.
No. Okay, so have a nice day, evening, or whatever, and goodbye.
See you in the next video. Bye bye.